Hey everybody, Mungo Darkmatter here, and welcome to Solstice Day 8. Today I just thought I'd give a few thoughts on the difference between shooting photographs with a film camera and shooting one with a digital camera. Now, it used to be when there were only film cameras around, we kind of wished for some of the advantages of digital cameras. Now that digital cameras are around, going back to film, a lot of times you find out, well, there were some advantages to film as well. One thing about film is it has like a grain, which it can actually be part of the picture, particularly if it's a black and white picture. They tend to have a grain instead of pixels, and that can really add something to the picture. In fact, they actually have filters in various graphics programs to add grain to a photograph to make it look like a film photograph. But one of the major things about shooting film is you have a limited number of exposures. And so you have to think a little bit more about what you're shooting. You know, it also costs money to get each one of those exposures developed. Whereas with a digital camera, you're only paying really for the batteries and the memory space, so really the cost is insignificant. It costs a lot more to shoot film, so you're thinking, I have a limited number of shots on this roll, and it's going to cost me to develop the shots. So the shots become a little more important to you, and so you might kind of save some shots or not shoot certain things that you might with a digital camera. I guess in a sense that's bad because you can hold back and not take a shot that might turn out really great. In another sense, it makes you think about what you're shooting a little bit more. With a digital camera, the nice thing is that, like I said, you have unlimited shots, so you can shoot more experimental shots. On the other hand, you can kind of begin to neglect the value of each shot and end up shooting just a bunch of junk that you wouldn't normally shoot on a film camera. Now, an advantage or disadvantage, I guess, to a film camera is you can't see the shot right away, so you don't know if it's come out or not. So it's kind of a surprise, and that kind of adds to the magic of the whole thing. You have to actually get the film developed. You see how well you did when you developed the film, and by experience, you gain more experience of, okay, if I shoot this, it's probably going to come out like such and such. We'll see what happens in the film, and then we'll make adjustments next time when we're in the same circumstances or when the light is the same. Also, with the film cameras, you tend to bracket a lot because you're not sure under certain circumstances how the film will react, if you're going to get enough detail in the shadows or in the highlights. So you might actually shoot a couple different exposures. Digital film, you may or may not do that, depending on your style of shooting. And you may just be shooting on automatic all of the time and not even worrying about it. Even if you're shooting automatic on a film camera, you're always thinking, do I need to really, bracket this shot? How is it going to come out? I don't know until it comes out. With a digital camera, you can shoot the picture and take a look at it and preview it and see how it came out. So you can go back. So you're not really bracketing so much as looking and then adjusting. So those are some of the differences. I really think film cameras are really nice in the sense that you think a little bit differently, particularly if you're shooting black and white. Black and white is much different than color. With a digital camera, you can shoot black and white on a digital, but you tend to shoot a color picture and maybe bring it into Photoshop and turn it into a black and white. So it's not the same. You with black and white, it's going to come out black and white. You have to kind of think ahead, what might this look like? And with a digital camera, you can just take a color shot and turn it to black and white and adjust it in Photoshop. So those are some of the differences between film cameras and digital cameras. Also, with the film cameras, like I said, you have a limited number of shots, and depending on the film camera, if you're shooting sheet film, for instance, it's a lot more trouble to shoot the shot because you have one shot at a time you're taking. You have a film back that holds one shot, And you may have multiple ones of those, but you can only carry so many of those. And it takes time to set up the shot. So you're thinking more about the shot in that instance too. But even with a 35mm camera, you only have 36 shots per roll. You may be carrying a couple of rolls, but you still have a limited number of shots, and you tend to think about it more. I'm Mungo Darkmatter, and this has been Dark Matters. Whatever you do, enjoy the day, and I will see you next time.